Hello friends, it's Dave here from SaveDex, here to bring you another Nintendo Switch review. Today I will be looking at balllab, which does have a nice logo I think. I really didn't realise it was a palindrome at first. This game was very kindly provided to me, so thank you very much for that. It's a precision platformer, or Twitch platformer I think the kids are saying these days, where you take control of a ball as you progress through some dangerous 2D levels. But is this one precisely what you should be playing, or is it a complete balls up? So as is the nature of precision platformers, you simply need to navigate your way through the level without hitting a hazard. There are spikes littered around that you need to be avoiding, and one hit and you are dead. The controls are very simple, just use the stick or D-pad to move, B to jump, and holding R is to speed yourself up. One unique thing about this game is the fact that you're pretty much playing on one level. There are 60 stages advertised for this game, but when you get to the goal in a stage, the transition to the next one happens instantly, where the goal you've reached now becomes the beginning of the stage, and the level you've just navigated either alters or expands to create the next one. It's pretty seamless and it keeps it moving fluidly, and it's especially cool that you can now be dodging your way through the obstacles again in a different direction. One issue I have with this though is the fact that you have the same viewpoint the entire game. When the game progresses and the stages become bigger, then I understand it needs to fit the screen, but early on you have a lot of black space on the screen and the level you're navigating is really small to look at and it's sometimes hard to see what's going on. It would have been nice to have had the camera closer in, which I know would lose the effect of seeing bigger stages as a whole, especially when you get to see the whole level transform each time you reach a goal, but I would happily sacrifice that effect to make the game more playable, or maybe have it zoom out to show the whole level afterwards, have it transform and then zoom in again. But like I said, with the seamless transition, the level change is instant and you can continue playing straight away without having to wait for it to load. The same happens when you fail as well. You instantly appear at the beginning of the stage, which gets you back into the game. The lack of loading times between attempts really does help bring down the frustration for games like this. But let's talk about the things that do make this game frustrating. By design, this is a very difficult game, but it doesn't really hit the mark for enjoyment. I normally love these sorts of difficult precision platformers when done right, and sadly there are aspects of this game that stopped me from enjoying it. Let's start with the controls. So as I said before, it's just B to jump and R to speed up. Speeding up by holding R will let you jump further. It's not that drastic a difference, but it does become necessary for some jumps. I found the feeling of momentum when controlling myself in the air worked really well, but that's only when I actually succeeded in jumping. There were too many times where I failed because the jump just didn't happen. I pressed B and he wouldn't bloody jump. And this is a real issue. If you have a precision game, the controls need to be precise. One small niggle with the R button as well is when you die and restart a stage, the R button doesn't register if you're already holding it when you respawn, which is kind of odd. So control issues aside, another thing that made this very frustrating to play came later in the game for me. That is when the moving platforms appeared. I should point out that each stage doesn't have any checkpoints, which I don't mind that at all, but when you have stages that have the moving platforms that you need to be waiting for, it becomes more frustrating than it needs to be, and I was getting impatient from waiting around and having to do that over and over again. The biggest offenders here are the stages that begin with a moving platform, but the platform is moving away from you at the start and it's not possible to reach it in time, so you have to begin every attempt with a long wait for it to complete its cycle and return to you when you just want to get straight back into your next attempt. Graphically, the game has a basic monochrome look to it, which works well for the type of game it is. The simpler the better, I say. But one detail they put in are some grey bars in the background, which I'm guessing is to make it look more interesting, although those grey parts do camouflage the spikes sometimes, and I took some deaths from simply not seeing where the spikes were, especially because of how small everything is, like I said earlier. The music has some retro 8-bit arcade style tunes, which are okay for the most part, but nothing to write home about. The game costs £4.49, but as I write this, it's currently on sale for £3.59. and like I said, there are 60 stages. I played this for just under 2 hours and got to stage 36, but I didn't play further. The reason for that is I left the game and returned to it later, as it does save which level you got to. But if you press the X button on the menu screen, which I did by accident, it just deletes your file without so much of a warning or confirmation box, and the game sadly wasn't fun enough for me to want to play through it again. It's a shame, as I thought I would enjoy this game. I do enjoy difficult, frustrating platformers, but this was frustrating for the wrong reasons. The single screen transforming levels was a fantastic idea, but between imprecise controls, level design that required you to wait around too often on multiple retries, and being difficult to see properly at times, this wasn't a fun experience for me, so even at that low price, I can't really recommend this game. But that's just me. What do you think of this game? And what are your favourite precision platformers? I think Super Meat Boy or Celeste would rank high up there for me. Let me know in those comments down below, and make sure to like and subscribe to see more from us in the future. So thank you so much for watching everyone, see you in the next one.